Hey guys, so it's Vlogmas day 22, and I just wanted to come and kind of make like a short self-love video for you guys. This has been in the making for a while. I just really needed to think about the certain points that I wanted to make, because these type of videos you really have to touch people. I feel like sometimes there's that one person or the few people that really need to hear this. So I just hope that, the information that I'm giving out in this video, like a lot of people could really think and be like, dang, and really just like take it into consideration what I'm saying and really just try to change their life or make alterations in their life by the things that I'm saying. Let's get into it. Bet she doesn't touch like me. Sure as hell don't fuck like me. Alright, so I wrote down a few points that I wanted to touch. So just gonna be reading those points from my iPhone. Alright, so first point that I have is learn to love yourself. Alright, so I feel like this is very hard. Yeah, people say it all the time, and people say, oh, you gotta love yourself before you can love other people and things like that, and before you have kids, and you gotta learn to love yourself, and you gotta learn to do this and that. But it's easier said than done, because a lot of the times we spend our whole entire lives learning to love ourselves, especially if we grew up in households where we wasn't learned to love ourselves, and it was just like really basic, and you just go around and walk around and treat people how you used to be treated, and like just from your childhood and things like. But I feel like steps to learning to love yourself is to just look in the mirror and learn to be confident. One, learn to love who you see in the mirror. Two, and just you really can't let people like alter your mind based on what you think about yourself. A lot of the times, especially as young women and teenagers, we allow people to do that to us. And then growing up, we think that we're the problem, or we have a problem, or we let a man come into our life and try to run our life and try to tell us what to do and what's best. But you know yourself, sis. Like, you know yourself better than anybody else. You could be with a man for 10 years. It doesn't matter. You know yourself, and whatever you believe is good for yourself and what you feel in your gut, more than likely, that's the way you should go. Like, listen to your intuition, So I think that's one of the first steps of just embracing self-love, is just learning to love yourself. And if you already love yourself, learn to love yourself a little more. All right, the next one is self-educate. Now, I respect Nipsey Hussle a whole lot because of this, because he states in his music that he dropped out of school, he got locked up, and he just learned to like self-educate himself. Like, college is not for everyone. High school may not be for everyone. But at the end of the day, if you learn to self-educate, you will go far. A lot of especially African American families, like, they don't, how do I put this? Like, we kind of just go to school, come home, do whatever we do, whatever the case is. And a lot of kids can't talk to their parents about personal things, sexual topics, and even hygiene. Like, a lot of parents will say, yeah, like, oh, I have an open relationship with my child or with my children, and at the end of the day, it's really not like that, or you don't feel comfortable talking to your parents about things. So you go out and you learn from your friends, or you learn from the streets, or you learn from, as females, we learn from guys and what they tell us and the things that they feed us, and we got to learn the hard way. But if you self-educate, of course, like, Google is not the most resourceful website to be on to learn things, but it does have a lot of resources. And especially if you're seeing something more than once, more than twice, and blogs or like articles are saying the same thing, and it's like it's coming up multiple times, 9 times out of 10, like, it's something right about it, or it's beneficial, like, information you could benefit off of. So I would say self-educate, read, get textbooks, order books on Amazon, ebooks. Like, so many different ways to self-educate these days. They have like free online classes if you want to like learn how to open up a business, if you want to learn more about health and working out and fitness, and just anything that you're interested in, or anything you feel like you're not comfortable with talking to your parents about. Like, I feel like just use the internet to your advantage, you know? Like, you can't really believe everything that you read or that you hear, but, you know, find different sources to where you could really benefit from. All right, the next point I have is have faith in whatever you believe and want for yourself. So when I say this, I feel like I'm big on putting what you want into the atmosphere and who you want to be. If you put that into the atmosphere and you already walk like you're this big business person, or you want to own a business, a shoe line or whatever, start dressing like that, start talking like that, start acting like that, and that's the type of people that you're gonna attract into your life, and that's who you're gonna become eventually, because you're putting it into the atmosphere, and that's what the atmosphere is gonna give you back. So you just gotta have faith. You gotta walk by faith, walk by God's faith, and trust me, like, it'll come back. I'm not saying it happens overnight, but it will happen. As long as you believe in your mind that this is what is gonna happen for you, it's gonna happen eventually. Trust me. You just gotta work hard, have faith, and just believe in yourself, because nobody else is really gonna believe in you, honestly. All right, the next one is learn to meditate. So meditation, it's funny because I seen a quote and I literally just forgot it. Basically, it's like meditate. It's basically like, it has something about like just clearing your mind. Like, I heard something before, basically it's saying, like, if you focus on your breathing, you will, which is meditation, you will learn how to cope. Like, you can clear your mind of things. So however you want to take that, it could mean a lot in a lot of different ways, but basically, like, a clear mind will really benefit you in a lot of ways, because a lot of the time our mind runs at like 1,000 thoughts, maybe more, a minute, and our mind could be all over the place, and it's very unfortunate because a lot of the times, because of that, we can't focus on one specific thing, and that is not the best thing all the time, and a lot of people can't really handle that. They don't know how to kind of separate certain things, especially when you're dealing with certain things and certain things are in your face and you're really going through certain things. It's hard to kind of like clear your mind and get those thoughts out. Meditating is very hard. I've been trying for months now and it's very hard, but I feel like if you never tried it, I feel like it's something to look into, it's something to practice, and it's something to master. So if you haven't tried it, I would say try it. And I feel like if you do really want to master it, I feel like the biggest thing is just like YouTube, being consistent. As long as you're consistent with it and you do it like every morning or every night or whatever the case is, and you really try, I feel like anybody can master it. And so meditation is very important, and let's get more, like, let's promote that more into the world. Like, let's start from young. Let's have these young kids meditating and clearing their minds to focus on schoolwork more instead of being on these electronics and, you know, things like that. Like, it has a lot of benefits. Right, the next one is treat yourself. I feel like if you treat yourself, like, you would feel a whole lot better. A lot of people just think, especially females, think, oh, let me get my hair done, let me get my nails done every month, once a month, or every 2 weeks, or whatever the case is, my eyebrows done. Yeah, those are good. Those are physical appearance treatings to yourself, but at the end of the day, like, what about your inner? You know, you need to drink your water, you need to mind your business, you need to meditate, you need to pray, you need to eat right. You know, it's like, of course soul food tastes good, but a lot of this stuff is made with grease, and fast food is processed food, and this is what we're brought up on, and this is what we're used to, or it just tastes so good. But at the end of the day, treat yourself, treat your insides, you know, do a cleanse, do a colonic, do a fast, you know, things like that. Like, that's what I mean by treat yourself, not necessarily like the physical. Yeah, you want to look good for your man, yeah, you want to look good for yourself, which is an amazing thing, but at the end of the day, like, I feel like it starts from within. So let's start practicing that and putting that out there, you know. All right, the next one is write down your thoughts to release stress. So this has been a major benefit for me personally. I used to write when I was younger, but I actually stopped because I don't know, I was just young, and somebody said to me, I don't know if it was my mom or somebody said to me, oh, you know, you're just like your dad. He used to write. And my dad was never really in my life like that, so I didn't, when the person said that, the only thing I could really think of is like, I don't want to be like him. So I stopped, literally stopped writing like, oh, he used to do that? No, I'm not doing that no more. And literally I stopped for years. And I just recently started writing again. I used to write a lot of poems and stuff like that, but I literally just stopped writing because of that. So I started writing again, and it has been very beneficial to me. Just writing down my thoughts. It could be anything. It could be goals that I have. It could be a 5-year plan. It could be what I want. It could be things that happened in the past. It could be me writing about people, writing about relationships, friendships, whatever the case is, like what I'm going through, what my mind is telling me, like random things, just like, you know, thoughts, and like just writing it down could really like be a release of toxins for you, you know. So if you haven't tried it, or you know, you haven't really tried it in a while, or you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm back in school, or whatever the case is, like just try it. It really works, honestly. You can write about anything you want. You can write about dreams. You can write about celebrity crushes, whatever the case is, however old you are, whatever you're into, whatever the case is. I feel like writing down your thoughts is definitely a stress reliever, and a lot of the times we're stressing out and we don't even realize that we're stressed out, you know. So that's a big one. So I would say try that. And I think that's it for my self-love video. I'm gonna do a part 2. I'm gonna try to think of more little targets to hit, and I feel like let's promote more self-love, guys, especially in these young people, because a lot of the times we're living in the fast life, and we're living for today and right now, and we really don't realize that we need to just stop, take a second, take a breather, kind of bring it back a bit, and just really focus on ourselves, you know. So let's focus more on that. Even if it's like a bath, like you take hours to yourself just to take a warm hot bath or whatever, just to like relax, read a book, like, you know. So and that's really it, guys. That was Vlogmas Day 22, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 23. Alright, later.